Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. I am going to do some botanical jelly prints today. I have done a few videos before using the normal size jelly plate, but I haven't done one with mini jelly plates before. So I thought that's what I would do today. So I've got these jelly plates, you can see those. So I've got an oval, rectangle and a hexagon. So as you can see, they're pretty small. I'd say that's probably about, I don't know, 2 by 3 inches or 5 by 8 centimeters roughly. I don't know how well, it might be a bit frustrating because obviously you don't have much space to do a lot with, but simple can be good. So what you need, if you've not done botanical jelly prints before, obviously you need your jelly plate, sprayer, I've got some acrylic paints. These are just Ink Club. I don't really know who they are, but that's what I'm using. I might use some textures. I've just got a few bits, texture stamps and things. You don't need them, but it's just to add a bit of interest. And then some paper. So I've cut out I've cut out some small bits of just copier paper, and then some other paper just to roll off the excess paint. So I've just got these. Obviously you need some plants and things. I think, to be honest, a lot of these probably weeds, but that's absolutely fine because it really doesn't matter. If you have got time, it's a good idea to press them to make them as flat as possible, but it doesn't really matter too much. So I just went into my garden and picked these up. I got absolutely boiling hot. It's quite early, it's what, 20 past 10 in the morning, and it already feels like 30 degrees. So, okay, so I'm going to do the oval first. Okay, so first I'm going to do is using burnt umber. So this first colour will be the colour of your plant or flower. You only want a thin layer, you don't want too much. A bit more. It's hard to get used to using such a tiny jelly plate, to be honest. Okay, I'm just going to use this and put that on there. Okay, I'm just going to use a bit of scrap paper. So here I'm just pulling up the background paint, and you need to really press into the flower or the plant to get as much detail as you can. So you're left with that, which is quite nice in itself. Okay, and then I'm going to use Gelli. You need to leave it to dry, if depending on the temperature. I should think that's dry already, to be honest. And burnt sienna. You don't have to use 2 colours, it's up to you. Okay, I'm just going to use a small bit of paper. Okay, so that's not too bad for first attempt. I quite like the colours actually on that one. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to use the same colours and the same shape jelly plate, but I'm going to use, I think, something with more a bigger surface area. Okay, so by using the same colours, of course, you can make it into a little sort of series of artwork, couldn't you? Okay, so you want to use the side face down with the most detail, the veins and things. That one there. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, that's not too bad. I think I perhaps didn't leave it to dry quite long enough, but I do really like it. You can see that come off a bit, but I think that's really nice. I think the thing with jelly plates and jelly printing is that the images aren't meant to look perfect, and I really like the imperfect look. So there's that one. I think I'll do, to make it into a set, maybe let's do another one with the same colour. So let's do one more. They're a little bit sort of bulky. So same colours on top. Okay, well, you can sort of see, I did think that would happen here because the you could see there wasn't any paint on that bit, but yeah, not too bad. Let's have another go at a different shape. Should we try the hexagon? Okay, so I'm just going to clean the brayer. Okay, how about these two colours? It's got light blue grey and portrait tone. Let's see what they look like. So again, this is going to be a flower colour. Okay, so I'm going to put this on there. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, and on this one I'm going to try and add a little bit of a texture. Okay. Okay, that's quite interesting. Okay, you can see that. Okay, that's that one. Okay, I might try a rectangle next, and I'll do the dark green, green deep, and do red or no, I don't know. I'll do different greens actually. Let's do greens. So green deep, sap green, and emerald green. So I'm going to use this one for the base colour. I kind of want to separate them out, otherwise they look a bit blobby. Okay, so I'm just going to put these greens on top. So this is emerald green. And a little bit of sap green. Okay, that's quite nice. Sometimes it can work quite nicely if you have the same colour, different shades. Let's have a go at doing something quite bright. Let's use these two, so rose and cobalt blue. Let's put this one as the background, or the leaf colour. Let's use that one. Okay, so I'm putting cobalt blue on top. Okay, so that one, I think perhaps that's not too bad actually. Perhaps the colours were too similar in sort of, tone. Tone, the right word? but that's another type of effect. Okay, what I thought I'd do next is go back to this one and use the same colours that I did earlier. I'm thinking, actually reminds me quite a lot of honeycomb. I've just got this stencil. So what I'm going to do this time, something a bit different. I'm going to do a background first and then put the leaves on top. So that means I'm going to use the yellowy colour and the burnt umber. I'll put too much paint on them. Doing this, you do get a lot of collage papers out of it, I have to say. Okay, so I'm going to put the stencil on top. Do I want to do that? No, I don't want to pull that yet. Can get confusing to know what way around to do things. If you want to pull it now and pull up all the insides, or leave the insides and get rid of the edges, which is what I think I want to do. Okay, I think I'm going to have to put it on lightly. Press down a little bit. Yeah, you can see the pattern a bit. I just don't want to lift up all the paint. That's going to lift it up, isn't it? Just pat it down a little bit more. Okay, that should be all right. Okay, so now I'm going to lift up that, so we've got background. Okay, so that's the background. Let's just clean, very messy bit of tissue. Okay, and then I'm going to put the burnt umber on next. Now put the plants on top. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so now I want to get rid of the background as usual. sure if that one's the best one to use. Okay. Right. Then just going to put that on top. It's not gone on exactly, but it doesn't matter. Okay, it's quite interesting. It's just another way of using a background. Yeah, I just wanted to see what that would look like. Okay, let's clean that. Okay, so another way that you can do this is by putting on your base colour. In fact, we're only going to use the one colour this time. Paper stuck to my brain. So I'm going to use, let's see, these are really wilted already. Okay, well, let's use these. Okay, so I'm going to use my actual piece of paper I want the artwork on. And I'm going to do the usual pressing down, get out the background paint. Okay, so just checking as usual that I've got all the excess paints, and then what you do is hold your paper in place, take off your foliage, and then put the paper back down. Okay, and then you get something like that, which I really like actually. I like that you can see all the veins and detail on the flowers, leaves. Okay, so I think I will do something similar with the oval, but use with some different colours. Let's go with some bright colours. Okay, I might just add a little bit of a texture up there. Maybe there as well. Okay, so then we need our paper. I've got all sorts stuck to my fingers. Okay, I'll take that off. Put the paper back down. I think it might have moved a bit. Never mind. Okay, there's that one. It's quite nice. So for this next technique, I'm going to show you how to get texture in the leaf shape itself. Okay, so you're going to need kind of quite wide leaves or something, a larger surface area for this. So let's start with, you need the lighter colour first. Okay, so let's put this one down, use this one, mid yellow. Ooh. One of the things, you definitely get very messy with jelly printing. Okay, then you put your texture down, so I'm going to use the handwriting stamp. Then use your paper that you want to put your artwork on. Okay, so that's what you're left with, and then get rid of a little bit more. Okay, then you put down your darker colour. So this is the rose pink. And then you put your leaves on top. Like that. And then you get your paper you've already printed on, put that over the top. It can be a bit difficult to line it up. You can arrange your paper so you know exactly where it's going, but I haven't done that. Okay, so now we've masked the texture where I did the handwriting stamp. We've masked that with the leaves, and we're picking up the pink background. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see a little bit, can't you? The texture stamp within the leaf. It's a bit messy because I haven't lined it up properly, but you get the idea. Okay, so that's a technique you can do. And then when you're left with that, you can always pull that one up, see what that looks like. Okay, so that's nice. I like to do something I like to do when I'm painting with watercolours is kind of do a foreground and a background. So what I think I'm going to do is do the dark colour first. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to get this the right way around, but we can only try, can't we? Okay, so put the green down first. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the background like we were doing earlier. Okay, and take that off. I think I'll do light green as well. So I'm just going to wait for that to dry for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to put the lighter green on top. And then what I'm going to do is just put, now do you know what, I might use different leaves, I might just use some narrower ones. Like I said, these are a bit wilted now, but never mind. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, so it's quite interesting. So I suppose it sort of worked. I guess the lighter foliage is meant to be in the background and the darker in the foreground, although it kind of looks like it's the other way around, doesn't it? Because that's in front of it, but it's quite an interesting experiment. Okay, there we go, that's that one. Right, I'm going to do, I think I'll do one more. I seem to have lost the clip of me putting the paint and foliage down, but I've basically used green and yellow, as you can see. Okay, so that's quite a nice one. I think if you choose your colours really carefully, it really makes a big difference to the outcome, I think. I know I did say that was going to be the last one, but you get carried away when you're doing jelly printing. You just want to keep trying different colours and techniques and things. So I'm just using black here. And then I'm not going to put another colour on, I'm just going to do the technique where you keep the paper in place. Yeah, that's nice. I'm really not sure what I'm doing here. I'm just getting carried away now, trying all sorts of crazy things. So I'm just going to do a bright one using all three of them. trying to think what I'm actually doing. Okay. Okay, it's kind of interesting, I guess. Yeah, I had no expectations really for that one. Just thought I'd try something a bit different. Oh. That one might look quite good actually if you had 3 of the same shape, wouldn't it? Okay, so I'll just show you quickly all the ones that I've done today. Okay, so we started off with the 3 ovals, didn't we? So those 3 there, so they're quite nice together. That was that order, wasn't it? So there's those ones. And we did another one with the same colour, like honeycomb one, which I think, yeah, I think the colours weren't contrasted enough, so you can't really see. Just a shame because I quite like the botanicals in that one. Yeah, so that was using a stencil, wasn't it? Honeycomb stencil. We've got this one with the stamps inside the leaf, and then we've got that one with the same colours. Did that one by lifting up the paper and putting it back down to get the veins and the details in the leaves. Yeah, that one. Did that one with a bit of a textured background. That one was when I was trying to do a foreground and background, which I think a bit of practice that could look a lot better. That one's not hugely contrasted, but it's quite a nice effect. And we had that one. That one, I like the colours of that one. The black and white one. And then we had the one that we've just done, the interesting trio there. And then of course I've got all the other bits that when you pull them up to get rid of your backgrounds, all these bits as well. They're always good to keep. And also when you're spraying off your paint, I've got all these bits as well to use, so they all make good collage papers. So there we go. I think that was quite interesting using mini jelly plates. I don't think it's as easy as using a full-size one, to be honest, but I think they do make good miniature bits of art, and you could use them as backgrounds for cards or you know, anything really, collaging, tags and bookmarks and things. So yeah, I do think if you're doing this for the first time, you probably want your normal sort of size jelly plate, because it is, I think it's a bit easier, but I think it was really interesting to have a go. So I will link my other videos to my other jelly print videos as well, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.